Hey YouTube. Oh, I am really proud of myself right now. So, I love my mom, but often when we work on a project or something, she has lots of questions to ask about things. And sometimes, yes, they are good, valid questions to make sure we're doing things right. But sometimes it's just like, look, the instructions say to do this specific thing, or the person that I talk to, or whoever says to do this thing. Or sometimes it's even, but I want to do it that way. It's my thing. Just do it! And it does get a little bit annoying, but I still love my mom, and I'm very glad, and I consult her on a lot of things because she has helped with so much, and there's more things that she's going to help me with. But I am so proud of what I have done. What I'm super proud about is this table. So I wanted a table for my studio, and a regular 34-inch square card table was too big, but it was the right height. I then found that they make kids' tables that are 24-inch square, which was a perfect size, but it was too short. So I decided I would buy one of them from Lifetime and then set about making the legs longer using PVC. Now, that came with a number of challenges, and I originally was going to do this with my mom, but then I decided, no, I have the skills. Just do it myself and make it work and then have something to be proud of. And so, yeah. First thing, we bought this rubber. It was a flat sheet of rubber for like making a gasket or something. And the point of this was then I'd wrap it around like this because these legs are ovicular. And so there's definitely a gap on this side between the 1-inch PVC and this side. And then there's a little bit of a gap on the other side, but not as much. That's why this can't go around the whole entire thing. So after wrapping this around and taping it up, I found that it was really hard to slide the PVC on and get it to go down as far as I needed. So I then figured out there were a few solutions that could help with that, and one solution was to take a Dremel and taper the inside edge of the PVC so it was more smooth and would stop catching on the taped down rubber. That helped quite a bit. And then finally, I needed a little bit of oil to make it slide down better, and so I used a bit of vitamin E oil, which this has vitamin E as well as coconut and soybean oil in there. It's just the cheapest oil I had on hand, so I went ahead and used some of that, and now these were able to slide on really nicely, and then, the oil has dried up, and now they don't slide, which is good. That's what we wanted. One of these ended up being a little bit loose because I cut this piece off on the vertical direction a little bit too short. So what I did is I took a piece about this size, put it near the top, then I cut this much off of the top of the original rubber, and I put it back on, and I cut it a little bit longer so that one piece is tight towards the top, but not towards the bottom, but it's still okay. I don't know which leg it is now, but it doesn't really wobble, and these will especially not wobble much when I put the screw and nut through them, which all that's waiting on is screws and nuts because they need to be a little bit longer screws and nuts. And cutting these PVC, because there were two pieces that needed to be cut in half, so I had four. I messed up on that a little bit. Like you can see on that one there, it's a little angled, and I think that's the other half of it. I did that one with a hacksaw because that's what I'm familiar and comfortable with, but then one piece ended up being slightly longer, and it was cut on an angle. So I decided then that I would work up the courage and use my mom's circular saw, the one where you pull straight down with the circular blade. So I worked up the courage, I figured out how to unlock it, I plugged it in, put on some goggles, pulled it down, cut my second piece. The cut was a lot more clean and straight. However, one side was still just like an inch longer than the other, which was okay because I was already going to have to cut off an inch from my total length that I could have the legs anyways because of the first mishap, which is fine. I don't remember exactly how much taller I'm making this table, but it was like a 21-inch table, and now I'm probably about like 29 inches or so. It's a good height for what I'm going to be using it for. So after cutting, then I was able to take the drill over there and find what would fit your standard 1/4-inch screw, which according to one of my friends who has a machine shop, he's our renter next door, he said that 1/4-inch screws are the least expensive because they're the most common. And so after measuring one hole, which was to be about half of the height of the space inside of the pipe, I then measured all the others to the same height and drilled them through, and it worked out really great. And so now I'll be able to put my screws through when I get some longer screws with nuts. And now this does make it so that the legs stick out a bit on either side of the table, and you have to fold them in the right order so that like this leg would go underneath that one and so forth. And I'm totally fine with that because I wanted it longer, and I'm also fine with that clip being broken because the clip won't work anyways now because I've made it just a little bit longer. And I am going to come up with some way, like if leaning this against the wall doesn't work great, then I'll come up with something that I could fit on here to make like a little extra foot so that this will go like that vertically and not wobble around. But yeah, that's pretty much the process that I used, and I just worked well playing music and stuff, so that's why I wasn't streaming this project, and I just wanted to focus and get it done, and I did. So all I need are some bolts, and then I may go up and trim off the excess rubber on the bottoms there. But it turned out really good, and I am really proud of myself and the way that things worked. And so there's going to be a lot of fun stuff on this table. I'll use it to work with Legos, and I'll be able to do other kinds of projects and things on this table, and it will probably hold the keyboard for my old laptop whenever I'm using that, so I can sit right in front of it. And the games that I play on there, like Odyssey 2 games that have boards and a whole huge list of things. So yeah, I'm proud of this, and hopefully you guys are excited to see the things that happen on this table. If you are, leave a like down below, consider subscribing, and I will see you guys in whatever's next. Bye!